We've learned a lot about our country. We've learned that our democracy is incredibly weak and vulnerable to a hijack. We've learned that the media cannot be relied on to be other than a gross and grotesque cheerleader for warmongers who happen to live in the White House.
Hey, well, wear your seatbelt.
Okay.
Okay, call me when you get a chance.
Will do.
Are you okay?
Yep, I know.
Okay, honey, I love you, and, you know, I believe in what you're doing.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Alright, love you, Mom.
Alright, go. But don't get arrested. Okay?
Promise.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too, bye. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Doing great.
Good seeing you
Nice
again.
to see you.
Opens right there. I need you to think. Good concept, right?
That is a good concept.
Because it is necessary to change policies at all levels. We can't always be on the outside throwing at the house. We have to be able to push the doors open while inside. I learned that from people like Jamala and Khalil Moain and other activists here in the city of St. Louis.
I signed up for the military because I come from a poor farming rural town and I was bored and I needed an escape and I wanted college money because I knew I'd never be able to afford on my own to go to college. So I signed up for the Army and I'm one of those unique breed, I guess, because I signed up during the Clinton era that I was against the war before the war started, basically. And once 9/11 happened, I just kind of went like, oh shit, like, I just made a huge mistake.
Rebuild the Gulf Coast. Give me out, rebuild New Orleans and the rest of the Gulf Coast. To rebuild the infrastructure that we saw a couple of weeks ago in Minnesota when the bridge collapsed. That's the nature and the condition of our infrastructure here. And why is that? Because billions of dollars are going elsewhere where they need to be building our infrastructure, building our schools, building our healthcare system. And so that's the conversation that we have to have. How do we stop this war and reprioritize the human needs of this country? So welcome to St. Louis, and I look forward to the weekend.
A lot of the members of Iraq Veterans Against the War are like guys who went and believed in it, and then when they were there, something changed their minds and made them realize that it's not true and it's all a lie. But someone like me went through it because I was afraid if I didn't, I'd go to jail. So it was like, I signed up, I realized I made a mistake, and then I did something I knew I was going to hate, and it was something that it took me a long time to come to terms with, was willingly doing something that I thought to be wrong and bad and evil.
I mean, what we have to do is to take on two major parties. We have to take on the Republicans and we have to take on the Democrats. Because every single day we're having 3 to 5 to 10 Americans killed, 200 Iraqis being killed every day. I mean, it's up to us. If we want this war to end, we've got to buck it up. We've got to buck it up and we've got to come up with some more creative ideas of how we get, as Jamala said, how do we get the African American community in there? How do we get the Latino community? These communities that are the ones that are probably the most affected at all because they're the kids that are joining the military.
The war's been going on for almost 5 years now, and we still haven't succeeded in ending it yet. And frankly, to me personally, every day I wake up and I realize the war is going on still, and it's like it breaks my heart every day to realize that we keep failing. Like, we're making a little bit of progress, but every day we go to sleep not succeeding in our ultimate goal. And I'm not gonna stop until we do succeed.
So we're here at the 2007 Vets for Peace Convention in St. Louis. Important time in history. Peace lovers, peace activists, war resistors, war veterans, all strategizing, working together to find solutions, to think of how to win, how to end this war.
While I was there in St. Louis, I was fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with not just members of the Iraq Veterans Against the War, but the original protesters, members of the Vietnam Veterans Against the War, who were doing so much to help the Iraq vets in their struggle for peace.
They have their wall with the names engraved in it, and this is a little hamlet with 582. Out of one little fucking village in Vietnam, 582. 38 that day. No, 582 over the.
Oh God!
Over that day. 1/6 of the World Trade Center in a little fucking hamlet in Vietnam. No, they had 3 million killed. If they had a Vietnam War like ours, it'd stretch for fucking miles.
A monument, you mean?
You know, like the Vietnam Wall in Washington D.C. with 60,000.
Yeah.
Put on 3 million. And the Iraqis are probably going to approach that.
Oh yeah. They have what, about 2 million?
I'm sure it's a million now. I'm sure it's a million. It's 2 million refugees.
Just across the street from the IVAW convention was an arena where they were holding something called the Black Job Expo with actors like Nick Cannon, and also the military had a war simulator.
My name is Fernando Suarez del Solar. I am a father of Jesus Alberto. He died March 27, 2003 in Iraq. And I come in for the Veterans for Peace Convention, working for peace and counter-recruiter. But the surprise is when the front on the hotel, I find this labor fair or whatever name, and I find the recruiter here, the Army, Marines, and my opinion is very immoral and corruption. The military is coming here next to the universities, next to the education system, for trying to involve the young people for the war.
What do you think of this stand here?
I think it's pretty attractive. I mean, look, we got nice flashy vehicles, tents going. Look at this trailer, man. Very attractive.
You believe that can simulate what real war is like, right?
Well, yeah, we went on a convoy one time, and that's pretty much what it was like. We had some trailers that were doing some of that. Now, I guess, well, it's missing a couple of things. Of course, I'm sure the bullets and the shrapnel, the IEDs are probably on the other side that we can't see. I'm sure it's there. That's pretty much war.
Members of the Iraq Veterans Against the War covered the Job Expo with counter-recruitment literature and organized a successful protest right in front of the Army simulator.
Done by these veterans just now.
Well, they voice their opinion, they right, that's what we fight for. Thanks, sir.
All four of these men lost their sons in the wars of Iraq and Afghanistan.
My name is Juan Torres, Gold Star father. My only son, John Torres, died in July 12, 2004 in Iraq, Afghanistan.
Fernando Suarez del Solar, Gold Star father. My son, Jesus Alberto, died March 27, 2003 in Iraq.
My name is Carlos Arredondo. I'm from Costa Rica. My son born in Boston, Massachusetts. He served the Marines. He went to Iraq and he served 2 tours in Iraq. At the age of 20 years old, he was killed in a job.
My name is Al Zapala. My son Sherwood Baker was killed in Baghdad April 26, 2004.
Immediately after the interview, the fathers ran into some active duty Marines and had a moment to talk to them.
I joined Veterans for Peace because I saw the lies and I saw the absolute waste that was going to happen. Before it happened, it angered me, and I know I needed to do something about it. I've been involved with the peace movement for 4 years, and I'll be here well after we get this war finished. My primary focus is to work with whoever I can to work with, because having walked a mile in the sand, my voice and the voice of the IVAW crew, it counts more than anybody else's voice counts, because we are the ones that have been there, and we are the ones that know the truth. So please stop the apathy, think for yourself, and do what you can to stop this war. Thank you.
So my fellow Americans, I ask you, what kind of a country is it that we want? We want a country that will defend itself in the moment of need. We want a country that has honor. We want a country that has dignity. We want a country that will use its resources to take care of our people here at home. Our people need housing, they need jobs, they need health care, they need education. Martin Luther King understood the war in Vietnam destroyed the hopes and ambitions of people of two nations. It is time that we stop this war. It is time that we stop blowing up bridges in Baghdad. It is time that we started building bridges in the United States of America. It is time that we rebuild America. It is time that we build a new nation for peace. It is time that we build a structure for peace. It is time we create a new era of peace. It is time for veterans for peace. It is time for veterans for peace. Thank you very much.
Appreciation presented to Dennis Kucinch in recognition of his contribution to the success of the 2007 Veterans for Peace National Convention, August 15th through 19th in St. Louis, Missouri. We thank you very much.
Always use that these
No justice, no peace. USA, the Middle East.
I was in Korea in 1950 from September to December when I was wounded. You know, I'm convinced that war doesn't solve any kind of disputes. I've been opposed to war ever since I was in one. And I come to the Vets for Peace convention. It recharges me all the time. To be amongst these people that think the same way and know that what we're doing in this war is so illegal, so immoral, so obscene. We have to fight it. We have to get rid of this administration that is profiting from this war. Our people are over there dying because of their goals, their imperialistic goals, their war for resources and so on. That's why I'm here.
Jim, how long have you been a protester?
Oh, you go back to the days of Vietnam, I reckon, you know, we're talking back to the 60s, so there's 40 years, and let's see, let's throw on a couple more here, because about 47 years. You look right up there, pan to that bus, that's the bus we were driving back in 1974, went cross country and that. So we've been around the block a few times, but never saw a rascal like the one we got in there now.
I sat there beneath the arch with Carlos Arredondo and dozens upon dozens of protesters as we made a very large human peace sign.
I want everybody to think of George Bush and Dick Cheney in 2008 at The Hague world criminal court! Thank you for making my day!
Bill Gilson, Chapter 34, New York City. My first convention, it was tremendous. With Vets for Peace.
Huey Bruce, Chapter 34, Brooklyn, New York. It's great to be here with fellow fighters for the cause of peace. Thanks.
Jim Goodnow and I left St. Louis that afternoon on the Yellow Rose Peace Bus for what would become an amazing cross-country adventure.
Ohio, Buckeye State.
As soon as me and Jim got on the road together, we instantly knew we were on the same wavelength.
Hey! All right!
Jim had this routine. Every time someone gave him the finger, he would pull out this cross and try to track him down.
He gives you the finger, but he won't come back unless you put a cross in his face. Some kind of brave guy that guy is, huh? All I can say is we got a cross in every finger he can shoot us. There's the answer here, not this lousy stinking finger.
We would then spend the next several months sleeping on this bus as we traveled the East Coast during what was the height of the anti-Iraq War protests.
Right off! Just got a honk from our first traveling house. Going through the tunnel here right under the Allegheny Mountain. Good old PA, Pennsylvania, rolling for peace. No more war, no more Bush, no more Cheney. And fog. This is what our country's given us, a whole mess of fog. That's Americana, you don't see chew male pouch tobacco. Chew male pouch tobacco, drink yourself, do the best. That's a piece of history. It does my heart and soul good to know that Miles and this generation, the generation of the 21st century now, are able to pick up and absorb and know how to carry this banner in charge, and they aren't going to roll over and lay over. You know, you're out here on the highway, you get to think things over, and I'd just like to say that repeatedly in my mind comes with thoughts of you got to honor those for whom honor is due, but be wary of the impostor who subjugates and rules with fear cloaked with arrogance. And I guess I don't have to tell you who that individual is. It turns my stomach inside out to see what he and his fellow cohorts have done to this beautiful country and this beautiful land of ours. That's where the old Liberty Bell is.
Now, Jim would come to Philadelphia on a regular basis for several reasons. First, there was a ship captain who would make biodiesel that the bus was able to use. He also kept a station wagon in the city of Philadelphia that he called the Mothership. And right across the street was free bus parking.
Ideas being implanted in thinkers' minds. Can't really turn away yet. He's got to read one more. And look at what this bus says. Morning thoughts on a morning walk. Now we're outbound from Philadelphia going to Kennebunkport, Maine.
Impeach George Bush! Bring home the troops!
Got something negative to say?
Bring home the troops! Impeach George Bush! I've got a megaphone and you don't.
Hey, do me a favor. Pick up that hubcap right there. Right there. Just bring it in. Are you filming this?
You currently thinks you're insane at the moment, but...
Who currently thinks that the captain's insane does not know why we're picking up these hubcaps.
I have no idea why you're picking up
More to be revealed. I shall tell you about the great hubcap caper, okay?
Okay.
It's a very important deed you just did, young man. This is the Bessie Ross Bridge, and we're leaving Philadelphia. We're leaving the state of Pennsylvania, crossing the Delaware, not too far from where George crossed a long time ago. Not George, well, yeah, it's George W., but it was the real George W. The W in the George I'm talking about stands for Washington. These are the hubcaps that young Miles, my trusted crew member, recently risked his life in heavy traffic. However, he was going quite slowly on the I-95 over Philadelphia to bring aboard the Yellow Road. Now, why would I send my newfound crew member on such a mission? And he does not know either. And I mentioned a young lady named Polly Ryan. Ta-da! 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 Ta-da-da-da-da! Now, is that a piece of beauty or not? And folks, that's a hubcap. This is recycling in its finest state. Polly Ryan lives on the border, right on the Rio Grande River, in a gypsy wagon, an old school bus, about a 1936. It's so old that the engine is no longer in it. The tires are threadbare, but it's a beautiful gypsy wagon. Polly paints these hubcaps that are donated to her from travelers such as us. As you can see, it's quite an artwork. Back to my yachting days, I had those yachts like that. We got a pretty good yacht right here we're running.
It does not smell pretty in this part of New Jersey. I don't know what it is, but it smells really bad. Oh, it's so much
well,
shit.
You know what they said in halls of the United Nations? I guess Hugo Chavez said something like when he was there just after Bush was there, he said the hall smelled like sulfur. Well, maybe Bush went through here in his motorcade on his way up to Kenny Bunkport, you know? Hey, you never know, huh? Don't worry about it, kid. You'll get over it. You know, you gotta get like me, have your lungs coated with a little cancer first. It doesn't bother you so bad. $18? I don't want to buy the bridge. I just want to go across it. Over here on the Hudson River. There you go, New York City all the way down to your right. This is so different from where I live. Brooklyn Bridge is out there. New Haven, that's where Yale is. Did he give it to you?
Yeah.
Get him again. Get him again.
This is what it's all about right here. Conversations with one American at a time, you know?
Good God. Oh, they're rolling. I don't know what's happening. I do know we were lucky.
I don't know. Oh, wait.
Now this guy's behind me with his lights on. He might be nailing me anyhow.
Oh, shit. We are currently getting pulled over. Officer 235 just pulled us over and gave us this ticket here.
It says fail to use right lane, $100. Fail to pull right for emergency vehicle. I think we were harassed here. If you look here at the traffic, there's all kinds of traffic. It rides in the left lane. There's nothing here that says no vehicles allowed in left lane. The traffic's not that heavy that he couldn't have gone around me. So I definitely think this is harassment. I can tell by his attitude that,
oh, you know, did you notice that he had his hand on his gun the entire time?
He was so close behind me when I first saw him. He was out of my mirror sight because he was right on my bumper. So you can't see a vehicle in a size this size if they're right on your bumper behind you. His signature is just like
a line. That's a signature?
Soon after Jim and I received the ticket, we hid the bus behind a little strip mall where I found the greatest stencil ever. We then crossed the Merrimack River and entered the state of New Hampshire.
What's it mean, live free or die? How come I gotta pay? We love you, I'm just kidding with you. Well, you probably have to look right inside, but there's a picture right overhead of that windshield right there on the 1954 Chevy school bus that I drove across the country in 1973 and 74. It said impeach Nixon on it. We started an impeachment movement back then, and we were lobbying for his impeachment, and also to end the war in Vietnam. In the current situation broke such as it has now, we see a great similarity between the times of now and the times of then. Woo!
Not be a hog, but it's something.
Countless rallies, my lord. I've made most of the major ones in Washington, D.C. We go to events down in Minnesota, Chicago. We've been down to Fort Benning, Georgia for the SOA Watch. We go to the Veterans for Peace conventions, support the rallies, and in particular right now we are very supportive of the Iraq Veterans Against the War. They've utilized this bus and I drive them for their tours. They go to the military bases, they speak to active duty military personnel, forming a GI resistance, if you will, from within. Remember, I'm a veteran, and as a veteran, we take an oath to defend this nation against enemies, both domestic and foreign. I'll tell you right now, we've got a problem here with the current administration. You can't have the blood on your hands that we have now. Folks, really listen, this is real. It's not a video game. There's over 600,000, maybe some reports say up to 1 million Iraqis dead. These are basically innocent people, much like the people here we see. They're flesh and blood. We're all one family in this world. We got to get that real. I'm old enough to know that. I'm old enough to know what authority is and what it isn't. I don't fear the generals. I don't fear the politicians. They're supposed to be serving us, not us serving them. Let's get it right. Get it right now. Or, you know, the country's gone.
Because of these madmen in the White House, hundreds of thousands have died. They've squandered our nation's treasure and sent our children to a fiery hell. Impeach these criminals, we demand of you. Let's get rid of the sulfurous smell. This administration believes in the rule of force, but this is a nation of laws. Bush and Cheney must be impeached. We must wrench our nation from their claws.